Hello vinyl community, hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I'd come and talk to you about classical music. I got into classical through collecting. Like most people, they start off with classic rock and then they might try out jazz or blues or whatever, and then eventually one day they think to themselves, well, this classical album is 20p, I'll try it out. And then you try out another one, and then you try out another one, and then before you know it, you've got a classical collection and you're very dignified and you're wearing ties in the house when you live alone and you can't go anywhere. So yeah, beautiful things. Classical music will lead you to places you never thought possible, like dirty old flea markets or charity shops or mouldy basements. So yeah, you will get some experiences. Anyway, I thought I'd come and talk to you today about just a few of the albums I have. Like a lot of you, I expect over the years, you've accumulated tons of classical albums because you can get them so cheap. Nobody values them really other than a small group of collectors, and they only want the really sought after ones. There are a few that are worth a lot of money, certain artists, certain instruments, but generally for the most part they're not worth anything really. I just thought I'd talk to you, about a few of the ones I've kept. Like I say, I only kept a handful because basically I'll try them out and I think that's kind of all right. I don't really want a collection of just all right stuff. I only want stuff that's all killer and no filler, as they say. So I've kept a handful of the ones I really like, and then if I'm ever allowed out of the house again, once we're out in the Mad Max world, after the apocalypse, maybe you might see some of these albums and then pick them up for nothing and enjoy them. So I just thought I'd come and talk to you about a few of them. So first one, Yehudi Menuhin turns 50, or at 50. This is from 1966, I believe. Yehudi Menuhin was a legendary violinist. He had a violin school in Bath, I believe, which is not far from here. Prestigious school, I believe. He's an icon of the violin, for good reason. He was actually born in America. I believe he was Jewish, and that's where his name Yehudi comes from. I believe that actually means the Jew in Jewish. I've forgotten what it is now, but anyway. I believe the story is his mum got refused an apartment in America because they were Jewish. So when she had Yehudi, she was like, right, I'm going to call him the Jew. I'm going to proclaim it to the world that my son is a Jew. He's going to be known as the Jew. So screw you, basically, which is pretty cool. Yehudi is an incredible musician, was an incredible musician, a virtuoso, liked yoga randomly. There's photos of Yehudi doing yoga on stage, which is pretty interesting. I believe got introduced to that out in India. This is a lovely record where he basically talks about his life, how he started out. I think his first recording when he was a little kid, like 12 years old or something. That's like the first track on this, and it's really good. He was obviously a product. What's the word? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, this opens up. A prodigy. Nice record if you see it. This is one of my favourite ones. Pew Arts Trio, Dvorak, Dumke Trio, Haydn Trio, and then I can't say the last bit. That's the thing about classical music. Some of these pronunciations I will butcher, I'm sure. But all I know is I like the music. And this is a lovely one. Sounds fantastic. I believe it's on Philips. Yeah, in my experience, Philips sounds great. Great separation of the instruments. I used to have an old Pioneer SX650 receiver, and I remember playing this through that. And when they bowed the instrument, it literally sounded as if they were in the room. It was so realistic. I missed that old receiver. I sold it because it broke. I need to get another one. Side note, but yeah, if you ever see a Pioneer receiver, 650 and above, but try it out because they sound amazing. And anyway, this played through that was quite something, I can tell you. David Goringas on the cello. Wonderful. This is a great album. I believe this is is it a quad pressing? I can't remember now, but anyway, this is a beautiful album. If you ever see this one, check it out. Very nice, very nice. Lovely cover there as well, I think. Okay. Now this is a beautiful record. First of all, I found this for about 50p at a boot sale. I was attracted to the cover. I mean, look at that design, that great 50s design. Just wonderful. Is it modernist design? Beautiful pink. It's quite vibrant in person. Lovely, that blue in the photos there. Joseph Suk was a violin player. Amazing violin player. If you like the violin, then definitely. If you don't know Joseph Suk, you know, a legendary player, fantastic. Worth checking out. And then we have Jan Panica on piano. Don't really know him, but very nice. This is a great album. If you ever see it, I highly recommend checking it out. On the Supraphon label, in my experience, everything on Supraphon is good. If you're new to classical and you ever see that label and it's violin or anything like that, check it out because it's very nice. Pierre Boulez, a great arranger, composer, conductor. Frank Zappa was a fan. Apparently he was very influential on Zappa, and I believe they did an album together, is it? Or Boulez conducts Zappa or something like that. I can't remember now. I do love Zappa, but that's one I don't have. But anyway, yeah, Pierre Boulez, very interesting music. Almost like music concrete, really. It's quite out there stuff in a way. Not for everyone, for sure. It's not particularly relaxing. It's an interesting listen, though, if you're in the mood for something a bit different. Pierre Boulez is certainly that. And then just some info there on the inside. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, here's a nice one on Supraphon again. Wonderful. Joseph Suk again, Suk Trio. And just a lovely album. If you ever see that one, pick it up because this is really nice violin, string instruments, cello, lovely album. What else do we have? This is a nice one, piano. Chopin. I might butcher his name, Malkuzinski. Chopin 6 Polonaises. Wonderful there. Great shot there with the classy slicked hair. Yeah, great piano. Wonderful. Lovely cover there on the Angel series. If you ever see the Angel label, get, you know, normally top quality stuff. So yeah, lovely album. Okay, what else do we have? This is a really nice one as well. I love this one. So we have the Milos, how you pronounce it, Quartet, Stuttgart, doing this is where I butcher it, doing that, and then Schubert as well. So yeah, wonderful stuff. One you can find for nothing, and just great stuff, really good. And here we have Beethoven Violin Concerto, Christian Ferraz, Herbert von Karajan. Now I've heard his name pronounced differently, Karajan, I'm not quite sure 100%, I think people just pronounce it how they like really. But he was a legendary conductor and yeah, wonderful stuff. Berlin Philharmonic with them as well, on Deutsche Grammophon. You know, if you're brand new to classical music, you can't go wrong with Deutsche Grammophon records. You can find their albums for nothing, and it's often stunning music, just wonderful, relaxing music. You know, you can just pick them up for nothing, try them out. If you're not that keen on them, sell them or take them to a Goodwill or whatever, and then pick up another one. You might find one you really, really like, which is this one for me. This is a really nice one. And I'm not sure I pronounce this one either. Guarani Quartet, doing Schubert, Death and the Maiden, and Italian Serenade by Wolf. But yeah, a really nice album. You can see that on the back. I paid out some big money for this one, $2.99 at the YMCA. That's a big purchase for me in terms of classical, because normally I find these for nothing. So yeah, $2.99. Wow, I must have really wanted this one. But yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great on the RCA Red Seal label. If you're new to classical and you see the Red Seal, that's always quality stuff. Sounds great. So yeah, check that out. Okay. And then coming near to the end, we have Joseph Suk again, doing Mozart. This is on Supraphon again. This is wonderful stuff. Really nice album. Violin. That's the good thing about violin and any kind of string instrument on vinyl. These old classic pressings, they sound so good. I don't know what they did back then, but it's just like they're in the room basically. Really, really nice. So yeah, check this one out if you ever see it. Really good. Okay. And then every collection's got to have some 3 tenors, or 4 in this case. Carreras Dominic.